According to Global Voice Group, Africa loses almost 10 billion US dollars per year due only to illicit activities born of technological variants such as mobile phones or the internet. Ironically, technology is also the most powerful medicine to heal the African economy. How do we find the balance? James Claude, the CEO of Global Voice Group, joined us on this.
Yeah, revenue leakage is a real issue as a big part of the economy is moving from the traditional economy toward what we call the digital economy. There are a lot of frauds that are happening, especially in the telecom sector, in the financial sectors. More than 10 billion US dollars were lost due to illicit activities in Africa last year. So it's a real problem, but the good news is there are solutions out there which government authorities and regulatory bodies can adopt in order to effectively, efficiently, I would say, fight against those frauds, and at the same time create the right environment that can foster the development of this economy.
Yeah, as you said, Africa loses almost 10 billion US dollars annually just due to these illicit activities. What are these solutions that you think that have been put in place, and how effective have they been?
Yeah, again, so as the economy is changing. If you look at the use of mobile money in Africa, if you see how digital transactions are happening and are growing. So as this shift is happening, there are a lot of data being generated. So we believe that government agencies such as the regulatory bodies, the tax authorities, should leverage more on the use of those technologies in order to have a better understanding on what is happening on their respective sector, but at the same time to become more efficient in collecting the taxes that they are targeting. So, I mean, this is something that requires the use of big data technologies, such as the solutions that we as a company will provide to telecom regulators and central banks and revenue authorities, where they can really have a good sense on what is happening in their respective sector. As an example, Rwanda, they increased their tax collection by 6% by using digital technology. So this is an example of a country where these tools can be used really to help governments.
But still, as digitization has progressed in the world, we're seeing new forms of fraud and corruption have also appeared. How do we bring about a balance?
No, the balance requires, again, the use of those tools. So the same tools that are being used for new kind of frauds should be used and the proper and the right hands to efficiently fight them. So by having by leveraging on those tools, we believe that revenue, the tax authorities, we believe that the regulatory bodies can really acquire those data to really have a sense of what is happening and then really take control and create a safer environment. So that's what I believe that should happen.
As you said earlier on, data analysis is crucial. Do we have the needed data to assist East African governments better even allocate the resources?
Yeah, I think it requires a joint effort between all the stakeholders, where I think the mobile, the service providers are investing a lot, and in many countries, especially in East Africa, in Southern Africa, to really have the proper revenue assurance tool in place. But I believe also the regulatory bodies should really be part of that process, and by putting in place the right AML, the right KYC, just to make sure that the whole ecosystem is protected. And also, at the same time, those authorities should have the tools so independently they can really monitor and see what is happening in this whole ecosystem.
Now, James, just looking at the numbers, would you say, does the current level of tax revenues compare to actually the tax capacities of the different African markets?
Yeah, I think there was a report that I read the other day. There are 50 among of the 50 countries in the world that collect less than 19% of their GDP in tax collection. 20 of them are in Africa. So it's a real issue. And only last year, Nigeria missed their tax collection target by 45%. and this is huge. So I believe using technologies, government can really have a better sense on what is happening in the respective sector, but also they can come up with more innovative way to have more type of taxes that are more direct and easier to be collected. For example, by applying micro levies on specific areas in specific, let's say, in the financial sector or in the telecom sector, where they can really leverage on those micro levies to generate revenues for them, and that are easier to collect. So I think as we move forward and the whole landscape is changing, regulatory bodies and the tax authorities should also look at into those innovative solutions. From technology is on one hand, but also the data that they gather, come up with more innovative ways of collecting taxes and creating and expand the tax basis in general.
Yeah, just before I let you go, in East Africa, there are many cases of countries losing revenue through payments to ghost workers. How best can we tackle this?
Yeah, I think it's a serious problem. I think in Kenya, a couple of years ago, the government were looking into this issue, and they found more than 10,000 ghost workers. So I think, again, sorry, I'm keep repeating the use of technologies, but I think digital technologies can really be helpful for that by linking the people with the true identity, using digital identities, by digitizing those kind of payments instead of paying them by cash, but using the same mobile money that they are using on a daily basis to receive their pays. So this way you can track and digitally have a record on all those payments. So I think there are solutions out there, and I'm very proud to say that GVG, our company, we've been helping governments by providing those kind of the exact type of solutions that can really help them in that aspect.